The only man that would feel intimidated by a successful woman is a man with insecurities. And I think part of that insecurity is brought on by a woman who uses her success to sort of manipulate or abuse, and place her partner in a corner where it almost highlights his inadequacy. What we see in today's society is a man who is successful and uses his success to sort of manipulate and control his woman, to sort of get her to do whatever he wants her to do, and almost makes her feel insecure, makes her feel inadequate, and makes her feel intimidated, almost fearful by his success. We see that in today's society. But I think, if we take a situation where a guy works in a fast food chain, starting his life up, working on his life situation, and he meets a lovely lawyer, right? She obviously is going to bring a lot to the table, right? Her success is much greater. She has a career, and I don't know what else she has going on, but let's assume, she's a lawyer. So she brings a lot to the table. And I think a man would feel intimidated if she, approaches a situation where they get married, and approaches a situation where she creates arguments and creates situations that makes it difficult for him, and she almost brings up the conversation of always being about her success, that she can leave anytime she wants, that she's independent, that she doesn't need a man, and that she doesn't need him, and she doesn't need this family. I can live on my own. And she always brings on that conversation and always creates that dynamic for him. Then I think a man in that situation could be intimidated, because she's using her success to almost belittle him. And I think that's where intimidation can really grow, and that can really take effect, because success should be used in a way where it brings both people together, right? It improves one another. And if success is used the wrong way, I think it really creates a general perspective, and it might make a man feel like, hey, like, she's really like she's I'm fearful of her. I can't say anything because she brings a lot to the table. She's more successful than me. Because for men, what they take pride in is their ability to provide. And the moment they feel that they can't provide enough is the moment that they feel inadequate and they're intimidated, because the natural inclination of a man is to make sure that there's a roof over his family's head, that there's a roof, that there's food for his kids, that the house is well stocked. That's the natural inclination to want to provide. So I think for a lot of men, providing is one of the things that they really look at, and they say, hey, you know what, I'm able to provide. So if he meets a woman, let's say, who is more successful than him, he might feel intimidated if she uses her success to belittle him. She uses her success to sort of put him in that corner and feeling inadequate about being a man. And that's where you have a lot of like single successful women out there. Is not because they are, not the best people to be with, or that they have a lot of things wrong with them, but it's just the whole perception, the whole idea that's been going around by men who really were hurt, or who really have insecurities, or who really can't, get themselves to want to improve their lives, to get a better job or to get a better career. So sometimes those guys, they really place this negative picture on a successful woman, and so a lot of young men take that and they run with it. And that's why you have a lot of beautiful, successful women out there, women who are willing to give to a man, women who are willing to really sacrifice a lot for their man, to build a family, to build an empire. But a lot of men don't see that in a successful woman because of because of these other men who are doing so much damage to a lot of young men's mind. And so that creates a problem for us now in this society, where the like some men have to really talk about these things, and they really have to bring to light that, just because she's successful doesn't mean that there's something wrong with her. Just because she's successful doesn't mean that she can't really share her success with you, and that you guys can't make things work because you have such a low end job. That's not what it's about. And I think we need to push a lot of men in that direction to be with a successful woman, and to also want to be successful, because a lot of the complaints that a successful woman have is that a lot of men have, a lot of men don't want to work to the point where they want to meet them halfway. A lot of men want to be in their situation, even though they've been given the opportunity to learn from someone who is successful. They want to sit on their butt, and despite the success of their woman. So a lot of women do say, hey, they just want to sit on their butt. They don't want to do nothing. And why waste my time trying to babysit a man who doesn't want to work to improve his life, or to want to be just as successful. So yeah, a lot of men do use that as an excuse to not get off their butt. They do use that as an excuse to sort of not try to improve for their woman. So you do have that kind of situation as well. Are men intimidated by a successful woman? No, the majority of the men are not. I think the only man that would be, like I said, it's a man with insecurity, and I think that insecurity can be worked on, that insecurity can be improved. It's just a matter of perspective. So I think having a balanced way of living is really the right way to go, because I've seen a lot of girls who really use their success, and I've seen a lot of men as well who usually use their success to sort of be about them, and sometimes they neglect their family, they neglect their other priorities, they neglect their commitments, and almost use their success as competition. They use their success to show that they don't need their partner, that that they can live a life without their partner, and that they use their success to sort of for a lot of negative things. And I think having a balanced state is very important, because society doesn't teach us that, right? Society doesn't teach us to be balanced in our approach, to be balanced in our success. It just tells us to continue to chase what we want to chase and forget about everything else, to be selfish and to worry about, and success being about you, only you. So it doesn't say that success is about working together as well. It's about using your success to sort of bring someone else up and to work with one another. So yeah, I hope that answered that question.